Hey guys and girls. So today's lesson is on powers. So powers would look something like this, if you've ever seen this before. So powers are basically made up of two things. Something called the base and something called the exponent. And basically what powers do is they're used to represent repeated multiplication. So for example, this is read 3 to the power of 2. And the bottom number is called the base, that's the big number. And the small number to the right of it is called the exponent. And it's basically just like a short form of writing out repeated addition. So in this case, this is called 3 to the power of 2. So when you write it out, it would be 3. It's basically how many times 3 is going to get multiplied. And this small number here tells us. So 3 to the power of 2 means 3 times 3. 4 to the power of 5. So again, 4 is the base. 5 is the exponent, and we read it 4 to the power of 5. That's how you would say it. And basically, the 5 tells us how many times we are going to multiply 4. So it would be 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. And of course, you can use your calculator for this. You don't have to do it in your head. So I'm just going to do a couple more examples. Let's do 6 to the power of 4. It would be 6 times 6 times 6 times 6. And let's do 7 to the power of 3, which would be 7 times 7 times 7. So now let's work backwards. So just say we had 8 times 8 times 8. Well, this would be, basically when you have it like this is always the big number. So that's always the base number, and the number of 8s that we have is always the little exponent that goes beside it. So this is 8 to the power of 3. Let's do 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. And let's do one more, times 5. So again, the 5s there represent the big number, the base, and the number of 5s we have is the exponent. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that would be 5 to the power of 6. Now we're going to do another example. So I'm going to give you the product, which means the final answer. So let's say the number is 25. And I'm going to say, we'll express this number as a power. So when I say as a power, express as a power, it means something like 6 to the power of 3 or 2 to the power of 4. This in total is a power. That's what a power is. Oops, looking for my eraser. Okay, so let's express the number 25 as a power. So we have to figure out what is the base and what is the exponent, that when you multiply it, as a repeat addition, 6 times 6 times 6 times 6, or whatever it is, it's going to give us 25. So, because we are hopefully familiar with our multiplication, this is really going to help when you're doing powers and working backwards. So the answer to this would be 5 to the power of 2, because if you write it out, it would be 5 times 5, and 5 times 5 is 25. Let's do another example. Let's do 36. Well, 36 expressed as a power would be 6 to the power of 2, because if you expand that out, it'd be 6 times 6, and that gives us 36. Okay, so your question for tonight's video, there's two of them. Number 1 says give the product or answer. So basically you're giving me the answer to A is 5 to the power of 3. What is that expanded? And then what is that answer? B is 10 to the power of 4. That's a 4 there. And C is 6 to the power of 6. And then 2, question 2 is use powers to represent each multiplication. So 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, what is that? Is it 4 to the power of 8? Is it 2 to the power of 6? So express that as a power. and B is 8 times 8. So again, really short lesson. We'll do more with it tomorrow in our work. If there's anything that was confusing, please again watch the video, rewatch it, watch it 50 times if you need to. And I will see you guys tomorrow.